Good afternoon. This is Ned Oshiro. I'm your American English Pronunciation Coach. こんにちは、ネッドです。先ほど日本語で一応またライブをしました。今度はですね、英語でもってまたライブをしたいと思います。ただ、一つだけ先ほどのですね、日本語のライブでもって、ご報告するのを忘れたんですが、おかげさまで私が今いる沖縄はですね、過去この3日間ですね、コロナウイルスの感染者の数が3日前と同じと、つまり全く感染者が出てないという状態です。今の現在のですね、つまり3日前の数字は、感染者数が142名、死亡者が5名でした。これは皆さんご存知だと思うんですが、やっぱこのゴールデンウィーク始まる前にですね、だいたい6万人ぐらいの観光客の方が、観光客だけじゃなくて6万人ぐらいの人がですね、沖縄に押し寄せてくるというような話が出ました。それでですね、県知事の、つまり沖縄の県知事がですね、ぜひもう一回これを再考慮していただきたい。もう一度考え直していただけませんか。できればやはり沖縄今は来てほしくないというふうなお願いの、その記者会見がございました。でその結果ですね、なんと6万人が1万人ぐらいに減ったらしいんですね。でもそれはその中の1万人の中にはどうしても、いろんなその一人一人の、事情によって来なきゃいけないという方もいらっしゃったらしいんで、つまり観光客の方がかなりの激減したというふうに思っています。これもこのようにですね、皆さんのご協力があったからこそこうなりました。で、まだそのゴールデンウィークはまだ3日4日ぐらい残っておりますが、ぜひこれがですね、この142のという数字が、このままの状態でいていただくとありがたいと思います。これが一つの数字ですね。それともう一つはですね、そうですね、これも私言ったかどうか分かりませんが、一応ですね、毎日のこの要するにビデオをですね、何度かYouTube の方にも上げておりますので、もし Facebook で見ることができなかった方はYouTube も見ていただければと思います。では、英語でお話しいたします。Thank you very much. This is Ned Oshiro. I'm your American English Pronunciation Coach. I normally teach English pronunciation to Japanese, especially those who are in the beginner's class. Beginner in stage in English, and also those who are what we call middle level, intermediary, I should say, intermediary people in English speaking or English learning. Now, today I'd like to take up this opportunity to express my gratitude to people who have made this possible. That is that before this Golden Week started, I did ask you cooperation and the consideration to regarding your visit to Okinawa. As you may know that the total, it was reported that total 60,000 or 90, anyway, 60,000 or 90,000 people were expected to visit Okinawa during this Golden Week. But then the governor of Okinawa has formally asked the people to reconsider their visit to Okinawa. And also he asked them to refrain from visiting Okinawa. As a result of that, thanks to all the as I said, the contribution and the consideration, this total people actually visiting here in Okinawa right now has drastically cut back down to 10,000, around 10,000 people. Although we still have 3 to 4 days to go before the end of this Golden Week, I think the number of people. I wonder. I did not say anything about it. That's right. As of today, the number of people infected with the coronavirus stands at 142 and 5 fatalities. These figures have remained unchanged over the past 3 days. And out of those 3 days, we saw no casualty at all, no infections at all. Today, I'd like to talk about in response to one of them followers. One of my Facebook followers was asked. The email was saying that whenever I stand in front of a foreigner, and I get nervous, and then I couldn't say anything about it. I just blank out whatever I was trying to say. So what should I do? What is the best way to overcome this fear and the nervousness? So in response to that, first thing I have to tell you is that I have advice to you do is that you get used to that, foreigner, meaning that you have to see or meet this person, or this foreigner, at least once a week, if you can. I know it's not that easy, because if you're living in province or regional areas where not many foreigners are around, then what you can do is look it up whether you'll be able to find meetup in your the area. If you're living in some big major cities, then you'll be able to find such meetup activities. If not, you have to Google and look for the areas or the major cities near your place. This meetup is an informal meeting and gathering of the people having the same interest. In this case, it's English. So those who wants to practice speaking English gather at the place, and they meet up with some foreigners. Also wants to make friends with local people, local Japanese people. So that's what I want you to do. If you can do that, you'll be able to see and attend, and you'll be able to meet these foreigners regularly. And these meetups are regularly being held at least once a week. So what you can do is you just Google and register yourself online for this meetup. And what you're gonna do is that you attend this meetup once a week, and you start. First of all, you don't have to take part in this English conversation, because you may not be able to understand. You may not be able to speak up in English. So all you have to do is just get yourself comfortable, just listening to it by enjoying the atmosphere. And then once you get used to it, and then you normally, each time this meetup is being held, you ask to make a self-introduction, either in English or in Japanese. So what you have to do is you have to prepare yourself for that introduction. All you have to do is write down, say, what your name, full name, and your occupation, your hobbies, and where you're living now, things like this, and make it like one brief, short introduction. That's the start. That's the one you start with. And then once you get used to it, and then I'm sure that every time you attend that meetup, you have supposed to make self-introduction. So once you get comfortable talking in English, and then telling them, that you're making your self-introduction, then the second things you have to do is that you prepare yourself for some further conversation. In other words, and then you have to take part in this lively discussion or the English conversation. So that means you have to also prepare yourself for such a conversation, and then you can talk about what you want to do, what you're planning to do in the future. Of course, everything has to be written in English though, and you have to memorize. And if you find difficult to write your own English, then what I can suggest to do is that look up, Google has a translation service. All you have to do is write down in Japanese, and then have it, have the Google translate that into English. And then also Google also offers some native speaker who reads this sentence, whatever you have typed into this the service, and have that in the script or the sentence read by native speakers. Then you can imitate, you can repeat after that. That's the way you can learn everything about what you have to learn. And you become very active, and then gradually I'm sure that you'll be able to get yourself comfortable being around these foreigners. Once you get used to it, and then once you start feeling comfortable, meaning that you start getting confidence in your own English. The second thing I want you to do is that look for some tourist guide, the volunteer tourist guide service, which is being offered by many regional governments. If you're living in the place where the regional government is located, it is most likely that you'll be able to find such service. If you go to City Hall or the municipal hall or whatever you call it, you'll be able to find out about this service. This service is being catered to those, these days, as you know, that a lot of foreigners visiting Japan, and not only the major city, but also these foreigners go to regional areas as well. But facing shortage of the staff, the regional government always looking for some English speaker who will be able to volunteer in helping this taking care of this tourists, or especially foreign tourists though. So although you don't get paid for that service, volunteer service, but you be given some allowances for lunch or the transportation costs, and that way you'll be able to start, forced to learn, forced to speak your English. Of course, that means you have, since you're going to take them around, showing them around in the sightseeing or tourist spots, you have to speak, you have to explain all these things in English. And it is also most likely that these services being offered, the lot of the veterans tourist guides as well. So first couple of days or couple times you normally follow or accompany this veteran tourist guides, and you just observe what he or she does, and then you pick up words and expression he or she uses to describe this sightseeing. That way you get used to it. Then once you become independent, once you were taught to go ahead and do the tourist guide by yourself on your own, then of course you have to learn a lot of terminologies, terms and expressions describing these tourist spots in your area. But good things about this is that although not only this, the terms and words and expressions, you also be able to learn how to make some sort of like a chit chat, the daily small talks, because a lot of tourists would normally ask you, where is the restroom and what should I buy for my family as a souvenir, etc. Right? So you learn how to say it in daily conversation, and this is one of the best ways to make yourself not only serving yourself to your community, but also you'll be able to learn and improve your English. Once you do that, you get through this experience, not only you'll be able to make a contribution to your regional area, but also you'll be able to make friends with these foreign tourists. And what I heard often is that you normally end up exchanging emails addresses with these tourists, foreign tourists, and become a really lifetime friends. So that's one of the many merits that becoming doing some volunteer service. And this way you can be a very confident yourself in your English as well. That's it. Thank you very much. どうでしょうか。今日はこの先ほども日本語でやりましたが、外国人の前に立つとやはりどうしても、話ができないということを英語でもって少しやってみました。Thank you very much. Bye now.